Okay, welcome everyone. This is to my first YouTube video on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the first battle of the Marne. It was the first battle of World War One. It started it followed up from all the other battles basically, and today we'll just be going over the timeline and basically what happened in that period of time. Alright, so I'll just have some images up. And okay, so the first the first battle of the Marne was the first battle of the First World War, fought from the 6th of September all the way to the 12th of September. And 1914. It resulted in an Allied victory against the German armies in the west. The battle was the culmination of the retreat from the Mons and pursuit of the Franco-British armies, which followed the Battle of the Frontiers in August and reached the eastern outskirts of Paris. So here in this image you got a line of German soldiers wearing their pickle harbors with with the cloth on top of the things. I don't know what it's called, but yeah. Yes. And if you're wondering what countries were involved in this battle, France, for the Allies was France, the United Kingdom, and for the enemies was Germany, of course. Yes, and the casualty was pretty high for the Allies for the first battle. 81,700 troops were lost in these days, in these 6 long days. And for the Germans, 67,700 souls were lost. And the numbers of troops that were actually in the battle, the British had 64 divisions, while the German soldiers had 51 German divisions. Location: the Marne River near Brussels, east of Paris, France. Okay, now the context from my research. Field Marshal Sir John French, commander of the British Expeditionary Force, began to plan for a full British retreat to port cities on the English Channel for an immediate evacuation. The military governor Joseph Galani, I can't pronounce that, wanted the Franco-British units to counterattack the Germans along the Marne River and halt the German advance. Just check. For a second if it's still going. Alright, cool. Yes. So the British were planning for an evacuation of the port cities in Europe. Galani wanted the Franco-British units to counterattack the Germans along the Marne River and halt the German advance. Allied reserves would restore the ranks and attack the German flanks on the 5th of September. The counteroffensive by 6 French armies and the BEF began. By the 9th of September, the success of the Franco-British counteroffensive left the German 1st and 2nd armies at risk of encirclement. And it appears here on this image we've got some French soldiers camping up and resting, it looks like, getting ready for their next time at war. Yes, they were ordered to retreat after the Germans were at risk of encirclement, and after that they were ordered to retreat to the Iron River. The retreating armies were pursued by the French and British, although the pace of the Allied armies was slow, about 12 miles per day, while the German armies ceased their retreat after 40 miles on a line north of the Iron River, where they dug in on the heights and fought the First Battle of the Iron, and then began trench warfare. This began trench warfare. They fell back to the Iron River. So if you see here, okay, this isn't a good one. Still can't see it. See if there's any other images. Alright, this may do something. So, yeah, so here we go. So here the British, the blue, I think, pushing the Germans back. Let's see, where can I find the Marne? Okay, so they pushed them back to a line north of the Iron River. So I think that's I don't know. I'm not very good with directions, but yes, they were pushed back pretty far. And keep in mind, this is very close to Paris. Paris is a key part of Europe, and if the Germans, one of the Germans' main goal was to take over Germany, Paris, and it's kind of like one of the main cities, like the epicenter of Europe. If you got Paris, you'd basically taken over France. And that's what they were trying to do with the Sleufen plan. And that didn't really work out. They were cut straight off by the British and Franco armies. Yes. The German retreat between the 19th of September and the 13th marked the end of the attempt to defeat France by crushing the French armies when an invasion from the north through Belgium and in the south over the common border. Both sides commenced reciprocal operations to envelop the northern flank of their opponent in what became known as the Race to the Sea, which culminated in the First Battle of Ypres. So in the next video I'll talk about the First Battle of Ypres. I know there was a few battles at Ypres that played a key part in the war, which will be very interesting. And now we're just going to go into some background of the Battle of the Marne. So the Battle of the Frontier is a general name for all the operations, and for all operations of the French armies from 7th of August to the I'll just keep this on screen to see what, so you guys can check out this as I read out the key points. It is a general name for all operations of the French armies from 7th of August to the 13th of September. A series of encounter battles began between the German-French frontier and in the southern Belgium on the 4th of August. Liege was occupied by the Germans on the 7th of August 1914. The first units of the British Expeditionary Force landed in France, and French troops crossed the German frontier. The Battle of Morehouse, the Battle of Lee of House, I don't know how to pronounce that, but December the 10th was the first French offensive for World War One. So it's exactly what it says. It's my first French offensive of World War One. Yes, while the French captured Morehouse until they were forced out by a German counterattack on 11th of August and fell back towards Belfort on the 12th of August. The Battle of Haylen was fought by German and Belgian cavalry and infantry, resulting in a Belgian defensive success. The BF completed its move of 4 divisions and cavalry divisions to France on the 16th of August as the last Belgian fort of the fortified position of Liege surrendered. The Belgian government withdrew from Brussels on the 18th of August. So let's see if we can see Brussels fort. No, sorry. Brussels fort. So I don't know if this is the correct image, but they may have come from this area. Maybe this, I don't know. And the main French offensive, the Battle of Lorraine, 14th to the 25th of August 1914, began with the battles of Morhaine and the Sarrebog, 14th to the 20th of August 1914. Advances by the First Army on Sarrebog and the Second Army towards Morhaine, Chateau Salins, near Morhaine was captured on the 17th of August and the Sarrebog the next day. The German 6th and 7th Armies counterattacked on the 20th of August and the Second Army was forced back from the Morhaine, and the First Army was repulsed at Sarrebog. The German armies crossed the border and advanced on Nancy, but it was stopped to the east of the city. The Belgian 4th Division, the solitary part of the Belgian army, not to retreat to the defensive lines around Antwerp, dug in to defend Namur, which was heavily besieged on the 20th of August, further west. On the 20th of August. Further west, the French 5th Army had concentrated on the Sambre by the 20th of August 1914, facing north on either side of Charleroi, on east towards Namur and Dinant. So let's see if we can get a image of what's this place called. Morhange. Okay, this is not what I wanted to see. So this appears a French counter-offensive charge led by this officer here. And yes, these are the cavalry units we were just talking about, getting ready to head into battle. And here's the Lorraine front that I may lay here so you guys can look at. Facing on facing north on either side of Châteauroux and east towards Namur and Dinant. Additional support was given to the Belgians at Namur by the French 45th Brigade on the left. The cavalry corps of General Saudet linked up with the BEF at Mons. Sorry about that. At Mons. And that is it. So we're just gonna have a look at some more locations and pictures. Let's see. Battle of the Marne. Yeah, so this battle was basically the start of the First World War, if I'm correct. Like the first major battle of World War One. And this was very significant. It caused trench warfare, as you can see here. Very bloody warfare going on. This might be Austrian or German soldiers dug in on a defensive line. It would have been hell to be in these things. Yep, said right there. Yeah, so wouldn't be happy to be in a position like this. So this basically all started trench warfare. Let's have a look at this. Trench warfare, trenches today. You can still preserve it actually pretty well. You can just imagine the battlefields of what they were in 1914 throughout World War One. And I know you can go to Belgium and France today and actually go check out these battlefields, which will be pretty cool. Yes. And I think with that being said, I'm going to end the video. This is my first video, so cut me some slack. I wasn't expecting me to do the best. I'm doing this because I want to expand my knowledge of World War One. Hopefully inspire other people to do stuff like this and actually teach myself and other people. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be uploading maybe tomorrow or in a couple of weeks, so bear with me on that one. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next World War One video. See yous.